Okay, y'all. It's me, Gail, again. My simple thoughts for today. I'm headed out. I'm job hunting today. Hopefully I'll find me one, but that ain't not even what I'm going to talk about right now. You know, I was thinking this morning, I was thinking about my mama. I love my mama. She's in her 70s. She's a spunky little woman, and let's face it, up until a few years ago, she actually rode a motorcycle. Let me tell you something, nothing has ever stopped that woman. But anyway, and I was thinking about her and the way things have changed. You know, parents now want to be their children's friends. Really? You can't be your children's friends, you got to be your children's parent. It is up to you to guide them. Now, growing up, I grew up in a time when it was perfectly acceptable to spank your child. Now, I don't mean beat your child. There ain't no need to be blacking eyes, breaking bones, busting noses. That's just stupid and it's wrong. But to tan their hides every once in a while, that ain't hurt nothing. I mean, for Christ's sakes. My mama had 9 kids, and okay, before you go to judge, we all have hobbies. But anyway, my mama had 9 kids. She had to control us. And I'll admit, I was a bad child. Mama didn't have time to be my friend. And when I'd act up, she'd tan my hide. Now, unfortunately for me, my mama, she was one of the original redneck women, so she had one of them belts that had her name on the back. Let's face it, my entire teen years, I couldn't moon anybody, because anytime I did, they knew exactly who to call. But you hear these kids look at their parents and go, I hate you. Shut up. You're stupid. Let me tell you something. If I ever said that to my mama, she would have sent me to meet Jesus and then scared the crap out of him to send me back. Because she did love me. My mama didn't play. My mama would tell you straight up, I ain't here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parent. You're going to do as I say, when I say. And trust me, we all tried to adhere to that. Because like I said, my mama was little, but she was mean. And you couldn't outrun her. That woman worked out at a gym. She made sure she could keep up with all of us kids. To this day, I don't play with my mama. Even my kids don't play with my mama. It was funny. One day, my son was online and he was using some of them foul words. And of course, my mama had to get online and use her favorite catchphrase. That sounds awful. Oh my God, I want to hear that for the rest of my life. And I asked him, I said, well, what did you say to her? Because I was kind of in fear of my son's life. He said, I didn't say nothing to her. What do you think I am? Suicidal? I said, well, thank God, because that woman would have killed you. She would have killed you. It would have been painful. But don't worry. She would have went out and talked to Jesus. She would have brought you back, because after all, she loves you. But my mama didn't play. So what is it with these parents today thinking they need to be their kids' friends? It's like they've lost all control. We got a bunch of fat, lazy little children running around this country that's going to grow up with high blood pressure, heart disease, hypertension. They don't get out and play. They don't get out and do nothing. They sit right in front of those video games, and that's where they will absolutely live their lives. And you say something to the parents, well, I can't get him off of him. He just won't do it. It makes me want to pop them in the back of the head going, who's the parent here? You know that does have a switch. You can turn it off. You can unplug it. You have these kids walking around dressed like little... well, we know what they dress like. You say something to the mama going, listen, that's a 13-year-old little girl, and she's dressed like a Hooters girl. What? Well, I can't get her to wear nothing else. Well, who buys her dang clothes? People, stop being your kids' friends. I'm going to tell you something. My mama was my mama, and I love her. She raised us as our mama, not as our friends. She spanked our butts. Yes, that's not PC, but you know what? Screw it. I never said this was PC anyway. She spanked our butts. And I'm going to tell you, I never grew up to rob a bank. I've never beat up anybody or raped anybody or murdered anybody. A tan hide does not lead to criminal activity. A lack thereof does. Look at all these kids running around acting like a bunch of fools. I'm telling you, a bunch of southern mamas need to get together and walk through their towns and just start whipping butt. Now, kids are just not, they have no respect for their parents. And I'm sorry, sometimes when you're dealing with teenagers, you got to have a healthy dose of fear in there too. Now, and I'm not talking about abusing your kids, like I said. So for all you people out there who's got the sense of a turd, don't be trying to turn this around, and quite frankly, I don't really care what you think anyway. Stop being your kids' friends, be your kids' parents. You have to teach them how to be in life. Because I'm sorry, when they're grown, them doing wrong will have a lot harsher repercussions than just a tan hide. Start being the parent. It is your place to guide them, to teach them. In adulthood, things aren't fair. That sometimes you're going to lose. Unlike when they're on them little t-ball teams or those little baseball teams, they say, well, there's no losers here. Well, you know what? In real life, sometimes we lose. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we don't get what we want. And we are raising a generation of self-entitled little brats that when they don't get that promotion, they're going to throw themselves down on the floor, stick their thumb in their mouth, and throw a temper tantrum. Get them kids outside playing. Get them off them daggum video games. When they're grown, they can do what they want. But as children, they need to play. They need to be out in the fresh air. We got kids absolutely afraid of everything. You got these parents that wants to lay excuses for their child's bad behavior. No, just be a parent. Be a parent. It's just that easy. Stop being a wuss. You're not your kids' friends. You was never meant to be their friends. It says in the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child. And right now, we got a lot of spoiled children running around. But that's my thought for today. I know a lot of people won't agree because it's not politically correct, but like I said, I never claim to be. I never will be. I just see things as they are, and it just comes down to good common sense. Mama, I love you, and thank you for tanning my hide. And I forgive you for dropping me on my head. If you did, as Uncle Billy said, you might want to call him on that. And y'all have an awesome day. Love y'all. Bye-bye.